Take my hand, so we can do it again, do it again. Take my hand, 'cause I don't wanna be friends.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to the Hair Braiding School. My name is Marilyn and I want to welcome you to workshop 1, where we will be talking about tools needed for hair braiding. So obviously you're going to need your natural hair for braiding, your synthetic fibers or human hair. It's optional. Synthetic fibers, some examples of that are Kanekalon or Afro kinky hair. Human hair is 100% human hair. Then there are other options such as synthetic blends that have human hair as well as synthetic fibers. You can also have pre-braided hair. This is hair you buy which is already braided, or you could pre-make it and then you could apply it onto your hair through crochet braiding technique. And then another option of the type of hair coverings is a wig. You can have synthetic wig or a human hair wigs. Then one may ask, what about relaxed hair? Can you braid relaxed hair? It's not really recommended. When I was doing my training for braiding, relaxed hair was not recommended because that hair is permanently processed, and the texture is altered and it's weakened, so it's not very strong. They usually advise you to wait until the new growth starts to form or starts to grow, and then you could braid. But at the end of the day, people will do what they choose to do, but it's not recommended because you might find a situation where you will braid freshly relaxed hair and it starts to break or fall off. So I would wait until the new growth, just to be on the safe side. Okay. Then I have a slide you will find on the link on the bottom of this video that will show you some of the examples of synthetic hair. We have Afro kinky, Mali braids, Kanekalon hair, different colors, textures. And then we have human hair examples. We have the weave track and closure. I haven't got a closure with me at the moment, but I've got weave track. This is an example of a weave. This is just a small piece, about 10 centimeters. It's a weave track, it's just a sample. The track is this section here that is stitched to join the hair together. This is what you will sew onto your hair with your thread and needle. This is what you would use. This is 100% human hair. You can also get 100% synthetic hair. Then you have weave bulk. When we say bulk, we are referring to the hair that, for example, it does not have a track. This track would be off. Let's just cut that off like that. Pretend that we're cutting this off. And then the loose end, that would be bulk. That is what we refer to as bulk. The weave bulk is loose at the ends and it does not have a track. And then if you check the slide, you'll see pre-braided examples of pre-braided hair. You can find these online from different stores in different colors. You can get them in the 3-plait, in the faux locks, the twists, Senegalese twists, curly patterns, all sorts of colors, ombre, etc. and etc. When we are talking about hair, we are also looking at hair textures. There are different hair textures you can work with. Soft, sleek hair, horse hair, different. You will find different types of hair to work with. Kanekalon hair comes in 4 different 4 types of fibers. It's made up of synthetic fiber composed of polyethylene terephthalate, fiber mainly composed of collagen protein as a raw material. Flame retardant, you will normally find that written on the packets. There's more information, there's a link with more information on the slide. And okay, so your hair will come with different hair colors. When you are working with braiding hair, you need to know the different colors, because we use numbers. We don't say black or green or blue. Well, in some cases, yes, but then you need to know that color 1 is the dark black color. Color 1B is a lighter shade to color 1. Then color 2 is lighter than color 1B. Color 4 is, now we're going toward a brown color, a dark brown. Color 6 is slightly lighter than the dark brown. So it keeps going like that. So you need to, there's a chart, or you can look up some of these charts online. There's a chart on the slide, on the printout that I have, and it shows you just some examples of the different colors that you could use. You need to know your colors, because sometimes a client, if you're working with clients, they want to know what suits their hair, or what color do you think would be nice, that will suit them, or they might want a similar color to someone else. So you need to know, like when you're keeping your notes, your customer details, you want to know, like they want 4 packets in color 1, and then next time you want to come back to the same record, so you know exactly which color it was that you used previously. You see. All right, so colors. You can also get ombre, a mixture of the colors, where you have 2 shades, more than, and even the rainbow shade mixtures. These days you can get even more than 2 colors, like a rainbow ombre, and it's quite interesting. It's very artistic. Then you have different brands of hair products. You find some brands. Some examples are Expression, Outre, Kanekalon 100%, Mali braids, Jamaican twist braids, Sensational, soft and silky, and so on and so on and so on. There's so many companies out there, so many brands. Okay, so you have help, especially when you want to start up a business, a service for braiding, or you just want to be able to braid your family members, your friends, your children at home. The tools you should have at hand in your toolkit, so you show that you're professional, you show that you're ready, you know what you're doing. And the obvious thing, like, you need your braiding pattern. Always have the habit of designing your braiding pattern before you actually start braiding the individual that you will be braiding. It's better to do that than to just make up a hairstyle on the spot, because you have to have good organizational skills, like plan in advance for the purpose of time management. You don't want to do a hairstyle and then halfway you decide, no, I don't think this hairstyle suits, and then you take it off. You've just wasted someone's time and your time. Or another way, you could just take a piece of paper, draw some lines, depending on how you want to style that hairstyle. Or you can find pictures and images online, on YouTube, in Instagram, and Pinterest. And if you are not sure that you are able to braid that style, you have to practice. I will encourage you to learn. This is why we have this channel, so you can learn how to actually improve and master your skill. Learn that hairstyle, practice it. One good way of doing that is to invest in a dummy, a braiding head. And here is an example of that. I have this afro hair dummy. This is 100% Afro hair. It's 100% human hair actually, but it's the Afro texture. Okay, and it comes with a black stand, but I prefer this particular stand, which they normally use in salons, in some high-end salons. This is a stronger white stand. It's very strong. It supports. It doesn't wobble, you know, compared to the black ones. And then you can also have a Caucasian hair. Excuse me one second. Yeah, sorry. A Caucasian hair braiding doll. This is also 100% human hair. Okay. So you can braid Afro hair, or Caucasian hair, or Indian hair, any texture. There is no rule that, you know, you can braid any hair. It's absolutely fine. To braid your hair, you need your Rattail comb. I recommend, let me show you. These two are Rattail combs. You see, this spiky end is the Rattail. That's why it's called a Rattail comb. So I prefer this one. This is my favorite because it's stronger. It's got that sharper end, and this parting here, this parting is so good. It's brilliant, especially when you are making the lines, the partings. You want sharp partings. You don't want partings that are sort of jaggedy and crooked. It doesn't come, the style doesn't look good when you part your lines. This, I love it because it's so, let me just show you an example. What I like about this, when you're parting your lines, you part exactly, it's so precise. You see, it's so precise, and you can perfect your line. Whereas if you part with this one, it's kind of blunt. It can do, but you still need to perfect it, and it takes longer. I kind of, you know, have to keep going back and perfect it again. And I just prefer the other one because with experience, you will realize that this particular parting comb is really good. It's so efficient. That's why I like this comb. Right, so that being said, we are now heading to the vented brush. Okay. This is a vented brush. This is really good with Afro hair. It's brilliant with Afro hair. It allows you to really detangle. Even when you're detangling Afro hair, this is really good. For example, when you're managing Afro hair, you apply a bit of water. And talking about the spray bottle, this is a bit of water. You can even put some oil, like your natural oils, if you want to manage Afro hair. You know, Afro hair has the natural curl pattern, which is, it becomes loose when it has moisture or when it's wet. So it's easier to manage it rather than forcing it when it's dry. See, just a bit of water. It's easier to comb through. You know, when you're detangling, see? And you don't want to be like, you know, like you don't want to be brutal or rough. Otherwise, you're going to break the hair. So the moisture actually helps to ease, perhaps, to make it more manageable. All right, put that there for a second. So, yes, I was talking about the spray bottle. You need this because, especially if you're going to be braiding Caucasian hair, adding water, just pure water, even bottled water, will help you to, you know, when you're working with Caucasian hair and you're braiding Caucasian hair, after it's all, you know, washed and ready for braiding or moisturized, etc., you still need your water bottle. This will help you to grip. It gives you a grip when you are braiding Caucasian hair. I will show you how to do this in the next videos, but it's one to have. Then another alternative to the water bottle, especially when you're working with Afro hair, is the gels. Now, there are different types of gels people use these days, so you may have a favorite brand. This gel, you know, when people are doing their cornrows or their plaits, you just scoop some gel, apply it to the hair, and braid. And you'll find really precise cornrows. It looks really lovely, really neat and artistic. And then you have the edges. There are different products on the market. Edge Control. This is Edge Wax Extreme Hold. Is very good for your edges. It holds your edges firm, and it can even hold your cornrows, your plaits firm, and keeps them neat. And even when you then come with a comb over that section, it's not going to be tight. It still loosens up, as opposed to, let's say you've used gel. Gel, once you apply it, it hardens. But this, when you apply it, it's firm, but it doesn't harden. You can still loosen it with a comb or a brush. So I like that product. Okay, so right, to practice, I've showed you the two types of braiding dolls. You can invest in whichever texture hair of your choice. You can purchase these online on Amazon, eBay. They're called Braiding Heads or Styling Heads. You just have to Google and see what comes up. You know, like there's another word that they use. If I remember it, I'll just add that at the bottom of the video. Right. Okay. Right. You also need the clips, alligator clips. Okay. These are butterfly clips. They help to grip. They help to grip the hair when you're braiding. Then we've got elastic bands, like these ones, or any other type of elastic bands. They also help to grip some of the chunks of hair when you're braiding. Then we have the alligator clip. Let me see if I got that one. Yes, here we go. Alligator clips. They're different types of alligator. There's some longer ones that really hold you know, longer lines, longer spaces, and that also helps when you're braiding. Elastic bands, a small elastic band. You also could have, you know, when you are braiding Caucasian hair, you know, the really small elastic bands, transparent bands or black bands, preferably the transparent bands, are suitable for the ends to prevent them from loosening up. And there are some hairstyles where you could use those small tiny elastic bands as well at the ends when you're applying beads for children, or you just want, there's certain styles where you could apply that. So it's optional for that. Then we are looking at decorating your braids. It depends if it's your children are having the hair braided. There are various decorations. We've got beads. I'll be showing you how to use beads, how to apply beads. You have to be creative. There's a beading tool as well in there that will help you to actually apply the beads onto the braids. Sometimes beads can be used by adults, they can be used by children. You have to be careful with the child. You just don't want, you want to make sure it's safe for them and they're not going to be pulling the beads off and eating those beads. And you don't want to put bulky, chunky beads, like really big size beads, to make the hair heavy or overly, you know, beaded. It may look a bit uncomfortable for the age. So it really depends on the age. Then you also have these beautiful accessories that can also be applied on your braids. You know, these design how do they call these? It's just accessories. These metallic accessories that you can also apply. And then if you are going to be weaving the hair on, you're going to need a sewing needle and the threads. And normally you get curved needles like this. These are really good for when you are actually doing like sewing styles. And your thread is this thick twine weaving thread. If you don't have weaving thread, you could use maybe double strands of normal sewing thread. Okay, then when you actually, I haven't got foam wrap, but foam wrap, when you finished braiding your hair, you need to apply some foam wrap. It just helps to sort of tame the hair and add some moisture in your hair. I haven't got some with me, but it's a foam wrap. The other products, you know, you may need before products to keep your hair clean, like example, I like this product here. It's a Shampoos. It's a argan oil brand, sulfate free. It's moisture and shampoo. This is one of them, the Shampoos, because you don't want to braid dirty hair. Remember, whenever you're doing braids, when you're working with clients or when you're working with family members, you have to ensure that their hair is actually clean before you braid. If a client comes to you and you don't provide a washing service, you can refuse to braid their hair if their hair is not clean, like adequately clean. The reason for that is not to be rude, but if you braid hair that is obviously not clean, you can see dandruff, you can see it hasn't been washed for weeks, you know, the moment you finish braiding that hair, that person is going to have the most uncomfortable nights. It's going to be itching, they're gonna be scratching, they're gonna be like, oh, my hair is so itchy. Your braids, they're going to blame you. They'll say it's your braids that made their hair really itchy and scratchy, and you know, then they end up scratching it. It's going to be messy, or they're going to take it off and they will ask for their money back, or it depends. But, you know, you don't want to have that kind of relationship with them. So you want to make sure that their hair is clean. Even if there is a child, you want to make sure that the hair is clean, because you want them to have a very lovely experience. And after they have the hair braided, you want them to go and get compliments and give you good feedback, and they will have a lovely evening, you know, and they can go with the hairstyle for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on what the style is. And you will get good feedback. That's the aim, you know. You want your clients to be happy. Right, conditioning is a very key, it's important as well, and we will be talking about that. And the hair moisturizer as well. We'll be talking about that as well in future videos. Another one of my favorite products, we are looking at natural oils. Coconut oil, 100% coconut oil. It's, you know, if you're not allergic to coconuts, this is quite good. I even use it for my own hair, and I apply it on my lines because it has that water base and it has the oil base as well, and it's organic, so I'm not worried about toxins, I'm not worried about chemicals, I'm not worried about anything, because it's 100% coconut oil. You may have a preference, you may have oils that you prefer, jojoba oil, different olive oil, so you could even mix the oils. It's up to you what you want to do. Okay, and then we are looking at a blow dryer. A blow dryer is optional, but when you're doing it professionally, it would be a good idea to have one. and it's really working with Afro hair. Usually our blow dryers come with a tool, a comb at the end of the blow dryer, and I find that very, very good. So some people don't want heat on their hair. You can put the temperature to low setting. You can put the temperature to low setting. That way the air, the cold air or the warm air will go through the hair and allow, you know, all your moisturizers to enter the shaft, the hair shafts. And okay, we will talk about that in more detail. Obviously you need your scissors, for cutting the synthetic hair and styling. You need your normal combs or Afro combs, wooden combs. Then you also need your towel. I haven't got a towel here. Oh, right, your towel. You also need something to protect your client's clothes. But if you're at home, you know, you could just wrap a towel around the person you're braiding, and then another towel for managing when you're boiling the hair at the end. When you boil the hair, right? Some people may know what I'm talking about, and then some people may be unsure. When you braid your hair, for example, okay, I've got these curls on my hair. You could come up with this style. You could put some rollers, some rods, curl, and then you want to maintain that pattern, so you boil it. And after you boil it, you take a towel and now you wrap it. That way, then you wait a few minutes and then you undo it, and then you have your curl pattern. So that's why you need your towels. Okay, I know why I'm saying that, actually, because I've had clients who are not black. I have had Caucasian clients who wanted to know more about braiding, and maybe they had a mixed race child, and some of the things they wouldn't actually understand. So these are some of the things you'd actually have to teach them to know, you know, that way they'll, you know, it's amazing at first. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know that. And now you know. Okay, right. Then the jug. Obviously, when you're boiling, you need a jug. So you want to find a separate jug that you will use for boiling water. Make sure the quality of that jug is thick. That way it's not going to leak or crack while you have boiling hot water. Because this is boiling water, the last thing you want to do is to burn your client or to burn your child or the person you know who you're braiding, because you could get sued or because you cause a very horrible accident. It's just not the right thing to do. So you need to really know what you're doing when you are working with these hot tools, boiling water, and you know, you want to make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, we talked about the towel, the gown for protecting clothes. Right, there may be a few other things I don't have. Okay, that I may have not have mentioned, but I'm sure as we go along, I'll be showing you other things perhaps that you may not have mentioned already in this particular video. Crochet braiding, if you're into that, you may need a crochet hook. This is a crochet hook, and these days there are other tools. I don't have, there's another tool, like it's like a needle, but I won't even bother talking more about that. I will probably buy it and show you in a future video. But otherwise, for now, many people are familiar with the crochet hook. Yeah, for example, the hair I have on, these are crochet faux locks. I use this hook to apply these. These are pre-braided faux locks, and I use this crochet hook to apply this on. See, and I've got a band to hold it back, or I could leave it out. It's optional. And then let me just see if there's anything else I may need to just talk about from my tools, my toolkit here. I think that's most. Okay, we've got one more item actually. This is ideal for when you're weaving. This is a razor comb. You'll use that usually when you are weaving hair, because this is what gives you the layers. It helps you for the finishing of a weave. That I will show you as well when we do some weave designs. And I think that's basically what you will need for braiding. So you choose the basic stuff that you will need depending on the style that you want to do. If you're going to be using artificial hair and braiding, you will need the boiling tool, the jug, boiling water, the towels at the end. So plan your hairstyle from the beginning to the end. What will you need at the beginning? What would you need in the middle? What would you need at the end for the finishing touches and for styling? All right. So this is the end of workshop 1. Thank you for joining, and I look forward to seeing you at workshop 2. Bye-bye.